So last week, leading up to just yesterday or the day before, I was in the rabbit hole of hell. Basically, my brain was on a rampage. I'm sure you can all relate to this and you'll understand why I'm sharing this. First of all, to make sure that you're all okay, because when it's ramped up inside of me, that means the collective is feeling something, because I just overfeel it, which isn't a lot of fun, let me just say. But I was ramped up. It was like just an insane amount of thinking. There was so much thinking that I was not connected with my inner being in any way or form possible. Like I couldn't hear anything. I was like in a state of worry and panic and stress. And it was just insanity. The triggers were like so minute, but they were like explosive in my system. It was like one trigger from here, from this person, then another one from here, and then another one from here, and just little things, and they accumulated and just an explosion. I don't know how many of you know what this feels like and have gone through this, where your outside world hasn't really changed, but certain people triggered you or certain thought patterns came. And it was like hijacked, like being hijacked. I also have it in my book. It's like your thoughts, it's called Your Thoughts Have Hijacked You, basically. And it was so bad that it's like this feeling of when you get so consumed that you can't even see straight. You can't even think straight. You're in like a terrified space of being. And it got so bad that I got a severe migraine. I'm not one to get migraines. I get them every once in a blue moon when my mind takes complete over and like the doors to divinity are shut and I can't even receive any information because I am just in like a state of like panic and worry. I'm sure a lot of you have gone through this. But this is the information I received right after, which was like yesterday and today. The information is, if you've done work on yourself, if you've tried to connect to divinity, if you've started to contemplate who you are, if you're shedding an old identity, if you've lost people, not because of death, or maybe because of death, but you've lost people, friends have left, family members, colleagues, your work, like things have just been leaving and you've been in this place and you've been really doing as much as you can to like connect back to your divine self. You're trying your best to pour as much unconditional love on yourself and you're still figuring it out. It doesn't matter what stage you're in. But then there's like, what I kept hearing is, now there is no time or space for you to dive into your egoic mind and need to control life anymore through your mind and fall into fear so intensely. Your system cannot handle it anymore. Your system has superseded the dense 3D, has gone, even if you've gone a notch higher or you've gone this high or anything, when you pivot down to that, the pain is so intense, right? For me, it came out as a migraine of hell and doom, right? And this went on for 12 hours. It was horrible. And I remember all I kept saying is this mantra. And, I encourage you to use this mantra because it does really help, because it stops the mind from, because this is when you start to notice. So the mantra is, let me just share it. It's thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this pain. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Constant just state of thank you. Of course, pop Advil, do whatever you need. I was just like everything. I couldn't even move out of bed. But it's like this constant state of thank you, thank you, thank you inside. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that you can break free from, it's like your system, your brain system basically started to burn out. Right? There was too much focus here and not enough focus. The energy wasn't flowing. It's all just here and rampage and worry and stress and, oh my God, life, and what am I supposed to do? And what am I supposed to do? And where am I supposed to live? And what am I supposed to, right? So much so, it's like it starts to like electricity, like circuiting, short circuiting, like bzz, bzz. That's what kind of happens. And I was seeing it in the physical. And then I heard, you can't go there anymore. You can't allow yourself to dive in the abyss of darkness and believe all those lies. Your only role is, when the abyss of darkness shows up, you pour unconditional love on it, and you start to, it's fine. I can still love you. You're this stressed. I will still love you. You're allowed to be stressed. I'm allowed to be stressed. This is my freedom. I'm allowed to be stressed. Pour love. Like, thank you for the stress for showing up. Like, instead of catching the bait where it's like you're like sitting and you start a thought, and then another thought, like that, and it's like a bait, like you're trapped in this thing and you're like sinking and going down, and you're being like, it feels like the demons have grabbed you and like pulled you down, right? And that's it. You're like, I remember being so angry at source and like, why would you do? And all this is like living in my head basically, right? But I did hear clearly is like, we cannot go there anymore. You've worked so hard to leave that paradigm. And it's for you to touch base and see, how does it feel when you want to control everything with your mind, when you want to take control of things, when you're not allowing the flow of divinity to take over, when you're not allowing surrender to take over, when you're not allowing self to just be in a state of acceptance of what it is without constantly in a fight for what it is. And this is, of course, I was so fatigued after, I stayed fatigued for 2 days, and I'm kind of still fatigued today, but I feel more attuned. But I know this doesn't mean that I go do, because I'm a very like hyperactive, extroverted kind of, like, not all the time. Like sometimes I really want to be alone and in my peace. But it's like I'm more excitable kind of personality. So I'm like, yeah, I'll go and do it. But my body's fatigued. So there's a lot. It's like I have to respect my body right now, and like relearning. Respect the body, there's nowhere to go and nothing to do but just this moment in time. And there's no amount of thoughts you can think and worries and stress you can because this is what happens. We think a thought, it's a cloud, right? That's passing by. You think a thought, which is a cloud, you believe this thought to be real. You start to arrange your life according to this floating thought. You start to arrange your whole life according to it. And it roots out into like, oh yeah, but if I don't move countries, then I won't get this, and I'll be trapped here, and then this happens, and I'll grow old, and I'll be here forever, and I have this opportunity, and blah, blah, blah. And it just spirals into, and then I'll be poor, and what if I end up being on the street? And it just goes into mayhem, and this person will die, and I'll be alone forever, and just everything possible from a one thought that you hooked onto and believed to be true, that there's a whole world that has manifested in your internal world that is a nightmare to live. It's a nightmare. It's a state of panic and a nightmare, but it's an illusion. It isn't real. It's just a nightmare. So the system cannot handle it. It starts to shut down, right? It wants you to stop, and it doesn't know how to make you stop. It's doing everything to make you stop. It's like getting you fatigued. It's making your eyes burn. It's getting a headache. It's now getting a migraine. It's like, you shut it down, shut this shit down. This is not real. It's a lie, and you're dying in it, and you're believing it. And you're believing that this is true. You've forgotten divinity. You've forgotten yourself. You've forgotten that everything's taken care of. You've forgotten that you are safe here. And that's true. I forgot all that, right? Because once you're in, right? And you got to ride the wave until you stop struggling against it. And that's what I heard. That's why the word thank you was my saving grace. But it's like stopping you from going further deep in the rabbit hole of hell and doom, and it's all lies and fake. So then you bring yourself out of that to remember this experience of, I can never go back there again. However, that was meant to also happen. So even in that, I can't be like, I could never let that happen again. That was an experience that I was meant to have. Like, you were meant to have that experience so that you can taste the difference between where you're really at and where you used to be. Because that's where you used to be. But that version of you that you used to be, it's so hard to exist with her or him anymore, because it is painful to embody the version of you that was before. And you're getting to experience that version of you that you were before, and it feels painful. However, at the time, It didn't feel painful because you didn't know anything else. There was nothing to compare to. That pain was natural and normal and was comfortable and familiar. To feel constantly under so much pressure and in so much pain and in so much self-hate and no connection to divinity except survival mode, that now you have a comparison. You're like, oh, I am so much better today than what I just experienced. I'm just going to say thank you over and over and over again. So you're going through this. We're all tasting parts of who we used to be so we can be in appreciation of who we are today, because maybe your future self in your mind is telling you you're supposed to be that person. You haven't reached it yet. And you're following that carrot that you're never going to reach without ever appreciating who you are today in comparison to who you were, because you forgot who you were before. You don't remember that version of you. You've come up, like, our memories are fake, right? We've come up with another memory from who that past version is. But then when you experience it in such an embodied way where you're like, oh my God, I forgot that just surrendering feels a lot nicer. I forgot that I don't have to sit and manifest every detail of my life. That's exhausting. I don't know if I have to, like, you start to really, you start to come back home to yourself, and you start to appreciate the version of you, the identity that you are in the process of creating now, right? And you're like, ooh, that old version was consumed by mental control, needing to change everyone so that she feels better or he feels better, needing to do all the things, thinking that, you know, the harder I work, the more money will come in, that I have all the decisions. I solely have to do them on my own. I have no help from the universe. It's all me, and I have to suffer through it. All that is nonsense. And it's like realizing the truth is, oh, what would happen if I just surrender and I don't have to mentally exhaust myself anymore the way I used to, because I was in survival and I've evolved into someone else, and now I'm tasting, so that at least in the now I can be more appreciative of who I've evolved into, because that version was in hell. I just wasn't aware how much hell she was in, and now I know. So when I got that migraine, I was like, this is how I lived. This is how I survived my family. This is how I survived my friends. This is how I survived my life, with a plastered smile on and a migraine constantly in my state, because I could never trust how I feel. I was scared to trust it because it was so painful, because everyone would deny it. And I had to be logical and mental all the time, deciphering what to say, what not to say, I did it right, I did it wrong. Oh my God, time is running out. All that. That is hell. That is hell on earth. So I just wanted to share this with you, because it came through this physical experience that I've gone through, that I received a lot of awareness. And then I was asked to share this also, in case any of you have been going through this, that there's a different perspective about it, and to take it as like, now you could just be like, oh, thank God you're back. Oh, Rain, thank God you're back. Thank God you're back. Oh my God, I love this version of you. The other one was hell. Like, how did you live like that? And being like so much compassionate to the version of you today. Be like, oh my God, I adore you. Thank you so much for evolving and being this version. And you know, and thank you for showing me that other version that's just, it was hell to live with, and I didn't even recognize it. And now I don't even know if I ever want to go back there. And at any point, if you ever like get sucked in or hijacked by your thoughts, you can be like, wait, I have this very visceral memory of so much pain when I want to control every single thing. I want to control who I am. I want to control my identity. I want to control others. I want to control my environment. I want to control my future. And I can't do that anymore, because this kills me. My system cannot handle it. That was an old identity. That identity had to survive then, because she was in survival mode. Can I show her love and kindness? Can I tell her she's loved even if she can't control anything? Can I tell her I love her even if she wants to be a control freak? Like, I love you even if you want to be a control freak. Be a control freak. I love you anyway. Like, there is no fighting against anymore. So that was my migraine experience. It was horrible. You know, and I don't wish this upon, I really don't. I do not wish that pain upon anyone, not even the people I like have hurt me so intensely. Like, there's no way I would want them to suffer through that. no matter what. Like, this is not something that I would ask upon anyone to go through. I would love a lot of ease and delight to go through everybody. However, if you are going through any of that pain, just understand very clearly that this is just a pocket of energy showing you, if you lived in the way with the old identity that you were in, that is how it would feel on your body. That's how it actually felt, but you were walking like a zombie, unaware and denying how painful your personal experiences and your traumas and your identity have been for you. They haven't been working for you. So you got a visceral, a true dynamic of what that looks like. And now you can be kinder to yourself and more appreciative of where you're at, instead of still following that, no, but I'm still not as spiritual as I should be, or doing my passion project as I'm meant to be, or like seeing angels the way I'm supposed to be, or trusting God. No. You are fabulous where you're at. You are great. There's nothing more you need to become, and you don't need to go backwards. Just where you're at is wonderful, and it's unfolding. Let divinity take over. Completely surrender. Read Michael Singer's book, The Surrender Experiment. Completely surrender and be like, you know what, God, you take it over. My mental brain is burnt out. I don't want to do it anymore. I know you know how my life could look like and how much better it could be. You take it over. I'm just going to relax right now and just follow the inspirations as they show up, when they show up, without trying to figure out, well, that's the wrong inspiration. Why did it ask me to go for a walk when I didn't bump into anyone? Who cares? You don't have to know. We don't have to know. Can we give our brain a break? Can we give this control machine up here a break? Because they're burning out, and our systems today, with the new energies that are taking place, with all of us waking up to truth and like working through, we're self-discovering and like throwing old identities out. How about taking this time to just do this and just take it over, Source? Take it over. Take it over. I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. You know, and you'll notice a lot of times when you give up, something carries you. When you give up, just, and not in like a despair where, just like give up, be like, I don't care to control anything. Take it over, delight me, and just do the thing. And I'm just gonna chill until the next nudge comes, and that's it. But I'm grateful for the version I've seen, and I'm grateful for who I've turned into today, and this is good enough for me, and you take the rest over. I can't do it anymore. So I hope this was helpful. Go down in the description. You'll discover a whole bunch of other things that are delightful. We have a Buy Me a Coffee account where you could buy us a cup of love to support our passion project. And that's it. I love you. Bye.